Hey guys, how long does it take to build a coaching business? Now, for me, I can only speak for myself and the students that I've worked with. I'll just give you an average of what it takes in order to start it, how long does it actually take. Now, my voice might be a little bit off. I just got out of bed probably about 10 minutes ago. I woke up like 30 minutes earlier because I had a weird dream. I had a dream that I was leaving some sort of park, and then I just decided to go like really fast out of the park, and there was two speed bumps, and the speed bumps caused my car to go like sideways in the air. And then like it didn't crash, but it's almost like it landed, and then somehow I was able to like roll away. And then when I got to my church, for some reason I went to like my church, and then one of the people was like, "Hey, your car is like really it's like crooked this way, so it's like narrow, and it's like a weird kind of like space. Like, it was all wrinkled. It's like, what is wrong?" And for some reason it was very weird. I just like woke up, and I was just like, not on edge, but I was just like, oh, that was weird. So that's what we're talking about. Just a side tangent of me. That's why I'm still wearing my robe. How long does it really take to build a coaching business? Now, for me, once I understood this formula, it's called the ABC formula, growing my business became very, very straightforward. But before then, it took me a long time, okay? Now, building a coaching business generally depends on, number one is your goals, number two is your credibility, then number three is how well do you master the ABC formula. When we talk about your goals, like people, if you're trying to make like, 30, 40 grand a month, that's gonna take you a lot longer than someone who's maybe trying to make like $3, $5, $10,000 per month, right? And the reason why it's also important too is because it's going to determine the size and the price point that you're charging for your program. It's a lot easier to hit like, 10 grand a month if you have a $5,000 coaching package, right? Because you only need to sell 2 of those per month. And then if you offer a payment plan, then your payment plans from last month will actually carry you over, right? So like if your goal is only to make 10 grand a month, yeah, you can definitely do that with a coaching business very quickly. And you can do that in a matter of like 1 to 3 months. I've seen people do it like in less than like 15 days. So I mean, like, it just depends, right? The next thing that depends upon how fast you get clients is your credibility level, right? So when I say credibility level, it's like, do you have testimonials? If you don't have testimonials, like, do you have a good personal story that kind of shows that you have the result? If you don't have either of those, then what you can do is you can either do a free trial of coaching and record all the sessions and use that for content so people can get like a pseudo testimonial. Or what you can do is you can just offer your services at a discounted rate. So maybe you'll give away a lot of like free content to build an audience, and then you say, hey, I'm gonna give a beta program or like a discount program. So use my program, sells for $5K. If you want to get started today, then it can sell for about $1,000. Now, usually, let's say that you're doing some sort of like business coaching, for example, or fitness coaching. You don't need as many testimonials if you're selling to a slightly higher or more sophisticated audience and you're just telling them it's your first program. So for example, I bought a course from a guy. He built his own like Facebook group to like 50,000 people. And he had never had a client, but he was like, hey, I'm starting this program. It's like a beta program. I'm going to basically show how to do this thing. And since I knew I specifically wanted to learn how to grow my Facebook group, and he had the done it for himself, I didn't really care if he had testimonials or not. He had already done it for himself, and since my business was already like growing and it was already at a really good pace, it was just kind of like it complemented what I was already doing. And I didn't really necessarily need to know for certain if he could deliver it because I already had the existing skill set and I was already trending towards being successful in it, right? So if you don't have credibility, you have to have, personally done it. But if you don't have testimonials and you don't want to just give like a beta program, just go find someone who's like pretty sophisticated in your market that's maybe at an intermediate to an advanced level, and then offer your service, because the bar for success is a lot lower. Like they don't necessarily need for you to like prove that you can like make them a $1 gajillion. You just need to have the right skill set that is kind of missing from their business, and they'll just fit you in because it's not as big of a deal if it doesn't work out. Like for the story I was telling with that guy, it's like if it didn't work out, it's not like I just like go to zero and I never make any money back and like, oh my gosh, I'm decimated. It didn't really matter. It was kind of a non-event, right? The next thing is going to depend on your ability to implement the ABC formula. ABC: audience, branding, conversion. right? That's how I've made as much money as what I made. I think in the last like 2-3 years, we've done about 765,000 for our coaching business. It might have been the last 3 years, right? But yeah, and it all comes down to that formula, right? So how we talk about like when you're talking about like selling a beta program or a program, like you have to have people to actually like sell that program too. Now most people do have an audience, it just might not be the right audience or the relevant audience to what you are trying to sell. But in a lot of cases, one way you can tell if a coaching program could be successful before you launch it, or if you have credibility, is are people asking you questions about the thing that you want to coach on? For example, one of my students, Mello, he has a successful coaching business and he's starting it up, like, right? But it came from, he is a coder, like a software engineer, right? And people inside of his local area were asking, well, hey, how do I do this type of coding? Or how can I get my son to coding? Or what are some different career paths I can do in coding? Or if I started coding today, how much money can I make tomorrow, right? Those are all different things that he put and packaged inside of his coaching program. And it's very interesting because it's like you don't necessarily need to guess, because if people are already asking you for this means people are willing to listen to you. Now, a lot of people are like, well, I need to make money today, but it's like the way you can guarantee you're going to make money tomorrow and forever is that if you can build an audience, enough of an audience of people who are like looking for help and questions with the thing that you actually teach, like you can just make enough content for them to fall in love with you, and you keep talking to them, answer questions over and over again, and then they end up wanting to work with you. They'll just ask, hey, like how much is your program, right? So audience is first. That's just how many people can you actually find that actually are interested in learning about the topic that you have. Branding is about really putting out content that shows like what you do, how you can help, and why people should keep listening to you. And then conversion is when you have conversations or when you make call to actions to get people to actually get on the call with you to talk about your program and see if it's a good fit for them and for their life, right? So when you have those three things and you use ABC formula, growing your business does become very, very simple. Now, we've done other videos about the ABC formula, so I'm not going to get into too much detail today about that. But when you have those three things, I mean, you can get started with your business and within like a month be at like 10K per month if you have enough credibility and if you have testimonials. The reason why most people don't do it in that kind of time period is because like most people, like they try and do this stuff on their own, and what they think is going to get them clients is not necessarily what actually gets them clients. Like that was a really big thing for me, because I was like, I spent at least like a good 6 months being like, hey, what do I need to do to get clients? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. It's like, well, I have the result, but I don't understand how to get people to work with me. I didn't understand how to build an audience. I was terrible at branding, right? So I could do the conversion, right, because I was already okay at sales, and I'd done like a lot of sales courses to that point. But really understanding how to get attention to my audience, to my offer, how to build that know, like, trust factor, and then really how to brand people to know, like, hey, I actually have this course, I have this program. It does this, 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 and this. If you're interested in that, you can like click the link. Right? So that's how you start. That's how long it takes. So it can be very short. The one thing that helps you shorten your period and your process, right, of building a successful business is going to be like getting help, right? So for me, I have our mentorship program for coaches and consultants. If you want to learn about if this program can be helpful for you, go ahead and click the link inside the description, book a call with myself or a member of my team to see if we can help you inside of our training program, okay? We only accept about 5 to 7 people per month. This is not something where we want to do like a massive program with like thousands and thousands of people. I wanted to have like a very, very small and intimate program where I can help people go from like start towards, $10, $20, $30,000 per month in a very short period of time. Now, the only way I can do that is by making it smaller and by having more intimate details where like it's very close to like one-on-one. There are some elements of group, but there's mostly like one-on-one inside of it to make sure that you can have the best chance for success. Because there's a lot of programs out there, and you probably have purchased a program if you're watching this video, and maybe it didn't work out for you the way that you wanted, right? So I do feel for you. Oftentimes the reason is because the coaching industry has been built for scale. It's not necessarily built to help people. And that's why, I don't really have a coaching program. I have a mentorship program. It's a little bit different, and it's more hands-on, and it's more based on like really being selective with who we take on. Because if you can't help somebody, it doesn't make sense to actually like take their money, because then you have to work with them for a long time period. And I don't know if you have this yet in your coaching business, but there's nothing worse than having to work with someone who's complaining, hasn't gotten results, and then doesn't believe in your methods because it's been like months since they've gotten results. That's not what we're trying to foster here. So if you want some help and you want want to have someone in your corner that can actually take you to where you want to go. Spot the mistakes you're making before you can, and then make sure you can eliminate as many distractions, as many obstacles as you can before you reach them. Go ahead and click the link inside the description. Book a call with myself, see if we can help you inside our program. Okay? I'll talk to you soon. Have a great rest of your day.